I'm all the way up, sitting first class. Pedal to the metal, tank full of gas. Can't slow down, I'm moving too fast. Headed back to the county, riding full blast. I'm all the way up, sitting first class. Pedal to the metal, gas on smash. I can't slow down.
Well, welcome back to another video, part 2 of my teardrop trailer build. So as you see behind me there's quite a bit of progress made. Don't worry, you'll see most of it in time-lapse photography as I go along. But I'll give you a little update here of where I'm at, and here we go. Well, since part 1, I've treated the frame here with some rust inhibiting products. This stuff is actually designed to remove the rust as well as protect it from rusting again. And this is kind of like the first coat. Basically, I just put it on with a brush and dumped it on. It comes in a gallon jug. It's kind of got the consistency of water. I'm sorry I did not take a picture of the label, or I would have showed it to you because it worked pretty good. This is what it looks like after it dries. It kind of flakes everything off and scales. This scale is kind of difficult to get off, honestly. You really got to get in there with a Scotch-Brite pad or something if you're going to do something that's something you want to come out really nice. So what I did is I hosed it off right here, as you see, and then I took a brush to it, and of course it looks better wet. Of course, what doesn't look good wet? With a little work, you can really get this shined up really nice. I'm not really looking for that. I'm just trying to get everything that's loose off of it and anything that's starting to die out of the way. So as you can see here, I let it dry. The flakes are off there, but there's still quite a bit of rust on there. Nothing the little wire wheel action won't fix. So I took a wire wheel and mounted it on my angle grinder and just kind of hit everything real good. Knocked all that big stuff loose and got down to the metal. So once I did that, I was able to clean it up real good, just wipe it down one time nice. And then I found this primer that's actually designed for rusty metal, and it fills in all the gaps and holes and makes a nice paintable surface and stops it from rusting further. So I went ahead and applied that, and really happy with the way that came out. And finally, the chassis, looking nice and pretty. All the old metals painted with that thick brown, all the new metals got the gray primer, ready to go. At this point, it's time to take a look at the plans, make any last minute adjustments I need to do, buy some steel, cut it out, and build a frame. Here's a little trick for you. This right here is one of those Scripto eraser pins. It's got just a regular eraser in there for, erasing pencils. Well, I just pulled that little eraser out of there and I put in a piece of soapstone. And unbelievable how well it works. It really holds in there nice and tight. It's almost like it's made for it. And it's just so easy to use. Just a little tip for you. Don't have to spend $5 on an actual one. You can get a pack of these for like $2.50. Okay, enough with the sparklers. Let's start playing puzzle games. Okay, so I've got all my pieces here cut, and what I'm doing is kind of lining them up on the frame, how they're going to be, and tack welding them into place, and just making sure everything gets right where it needs to be before I completely bolt it together and weld it forever. So currently nothing you see is actually mounted to this trailer. We have basically a square frame here that's been built that goes around. I need to finish off the back end of that frame by putting the piece across here. I need to notch these out so they actually sit on all the cross members going across. And then I need to add one more piece of angle across here, another one down the center, and that'll actually stop right there because this is actually a notch out hole to be able to step out of the trailer easier. But anyway, here we go. Okay, so if you're wondering about the metal here, so we've got 2x2 angle, we've got 4-inch channel, we've got 4-inch square tubing, and we've got a piece of door jamb. all this metal just kind of comes together around this curved frame to form a square. And that's all I'm looking for, is a nice flat square. This is the cool shit you get when you use salvage stuff. This was a door frame. Look how nice they look. Just fits right in there. Okay, here I'm putting together all of my cross members. Basically just welding everything into place, making sure I got a nice square frame, checking all my previous welds and areas that I might be able to add some more weld to, but basically just welding the frame completely together. Boy, look at the nice penetration on that weld. That's why I'm putting these gussets on. This is going to be a really strong corner by doing it this way. So then I just needed to weld the entire underneath side. And just want to do it super fast. Yeah, I wish I could do it this super fast. My knees wished they could do it this super fast. My back wished it too, but I didn't do it that fast. Well, all in all, I think I had a pretty productive day. Got a lot done. Frames completely put together. I went ahead and primered it. Still the bottom section there, it's going to need to be painted and primered, but that's okay. I'll do that after I get it up on there. Since I live here on the coast, I didn't want to leave this thing overnight. It would actually get super rusty just overnight. So rather than deal with all that, I figured I'll just take the time and paint it right now in my little paint booth here. But either way, it's coming along pretty good. It's starting to look like a trailer now. With a little update here this morning. I've got the frame all put together. It's all welded, both top and bottom, as well as painted or primed, actually, top and bottom. Now I probably won't be seeing this metal for a long time, so I'm not really concerned about painting it. Anything left over after the deck's on that you can still see will probably be covered with plywood on the sides, and then the back as well, so you won't see anything, and then it's going to end up being fiberglass. So I'm going to call the primer good as far as coating goes. When I get around to the final paint job, I haven't even decided what color that'll be. Whatever's still showing of this will be ready for paint. Only thing left to do is weld it in place. Little dude's got a long ways to go. Looks like he's all primed and ready for paint too. There's the frame, all done. Took advantage right here of this spot here, so I don't have to put in another cross member. I just took the one that was there and welded into place. Grabbed one more there. Everything else is just like you see it, welded front and back. This one here, I actually added some more thickness to the front. Another little plate there. She's all ready for the next step. Putting on the wood deck. Well, we're just working on the KISS principle here. Basically, I'm just lining these pieces of plywood up where I want, went underneath with a pencil, and drew out my lines to cut out. That simple. I cut out the long ones with the table saw, and these little squares here I'm doing with my skill saw. So there's the pieces cut out for the deck. Now I'm still going to put a rubber membrane underneath it, and then I'm going to seal that right there with some good old polyurethane. Because really it's not going to see any daylight or any elements from here out. In case you're wondering what this notch is for here, this is for the rear door. So the top here, it's only going to be about 2.5 feet tall, maybe 3 foot when you come down to the bottom of the curve. So in order to be able to get out easy, I notched it out. So the roof height over here will be 3 feet or 4 feet, close to it. This way you'll have headroom to be able to slip out and then step onto the ground. Well, there's the deck. I finally got that all built. It's kind of nice to see it. Actually looks like a trailer now. Nice flat surface to work on. So from here, it's about building the box. But there's one more thing I got to do before I can do that, and that's work on my suspension system. There was a little problem I had here. I'll show you here. So the wheel here, there's just not enough clearance to have my travel. So I got a couple choices. I can get a spacer, put it in here, move my wheel out 3 inches, in which case it would clear. Or I can put a spacer into there and come up 3 to 4 inches, in which case it would clear. But before I do either one of those, I want to change out that axle, because that axle is going to get changed out anyway. And until then, I won't know the exact distance of my tires. And I may be able to buy an axle that fixes this problem. But if not, I still have those other solutions. So that means I'm gonna have to go back on the internet and do some more research to try to figure out axles and all that stuff, which I need to do anyway, because I know that punk in there, it's gonna die. So I might as well fix it. I might as well take that axle off, put a new axle on, and make the wheels work out. I may even go with a little bit smaller wheel on there. Currently running a 15-inch tire on here, so I could drop it down to a 14-inch tire and still have a decent sized tire for off-roading, and be able to deal with that gap as well. But the key is the axle. I have to start with the axle. So I'm gonna have to get that axle, bolt that axle in here, and get it all mounted up, and then figure out my fenders and all that good stuff, and then build my box. So still to come, still to come. I appreciate all the support for the channel, all the encouragement and help, and I hope this project goes along a little well. But you know, hey, I work a job. I only have so many finances and so much time, so I'm gonna get after it best I can. It just might get done before summer. We'll see here. Again, God bless. Thanks for watching.
Ass on smash, I can't slow down. I'm moving too fast, headed back to the county. We gotta roll, dog.